There was an old man, 82 years old, sitting alone in a hospital bed. He had $4 million in his bank account. $4 million, but he had never seen the Eiffel Tower. He never took his kids on a real vacation. He never bought that guitar he wanted at 25. He kept saying, next year, when I retire, when things are stable. He died 2 weeks later. His children inherited the money. And you know what they did with it? They spent it on things he never got to enjoy. This is not a made up story. This happens to millions of people every single year. And there is one book, a strange, controversial, life changing book that says this is the biggest mistake a human being can make. The book is called Die with Zero. And by the end of this video, you will never think about money the same way again. Stay with me till the end, because one point in this video might change a decision you are about to make in your own life, right now. The author, Bill Perkins, is not your typical finance guy. He is a former Wall Street trader who became a poker player and hedge fund manager. He made a lot of money. But somewhere along the way, he realized something that most rich people never realize. Money that you don't use is money you wasted. Not saved, wasted. This idea sounds crazy at first, right? We are taught our whole lives, save, save, save. Don't spend. Build your retirement fund. Delay gratification. Bill Perkins says that advice is destroying your one and only life. This book is not about being reckless with money. It is about being intentional with your life, using your money and your time together before it is too late. Let's break down the real story and lessons of this book, one by one. Chapter 1. The biggest lie we've been told. Imagine two brothers. Let's call them Alex and Sam. Alex works hard his whole life. He saves 40% of every paycheck. He skips vacations. He eats the same simple meals. He tells himself, I'll enjoy life later, once I have enough. Sam also works hard. But every year, he takes one meaningful trip. He invests in memories, dinners with old friends, a solo trip to Japan, learning to scuba dive at 30. Fast forward to age 70. Alex has $2.5 million in the bank. But his knees are bad. He can't hike anymore. His energy is low. He finally has the money to do everything he dreamed of, but not the body or health to enjoy it. Sam has $800,000. Less money, but a lifetime full of experiences, memories, stories, and adventures that shaped who he is, who actually lived a richer life. This is the core problem Bill Perkins identifies. We are optimizing for the wrong thing. We are told to maximize our bank balance. But your bank balance means nothing if you can't use it while you're alive and able. He calls this the tragedy of dying with too much. Studies show that most retirees in America actually have more money when they die than when they retired. Think about that. They spent decades of their working life earning that money and never touched most of it. That money just sat there, unused, like a gift never opened. Chapter 2. Memory Dividends, the most powerful idea in the book. Here is where the book gets really interesting. Bill Perkins introduces a concept called memory dividends. Normally, a dividend is money you earn from an investment again and again over time. Perkins says experiences work the exact same way. When you go on a trip with your best friend at age 25, you don't just experience it once. You experience it again every time you remember it. Every time you tell the story at a dinner party, every time you see an old photo, every time that friend brings it up and you both laugh, that one experience, that one moment keeps paying you back emotionally for the rest of your life. That is a memory dividend. Now here's the twist. The earlier in life you have that experience, the more dividends you collect because you have more years left to relive it. Let's do the math with a simple story. Imagine you go backpacking through Europe at age 22. You have that memory for the next 60 years. Every time you relive it through stories, photos, feelings, it pays you emotionally. Now imagine you wait and you take that same trip at age 65. You only have maybe 15 to 20 years left to relive that memory. Same trip, same money spent. but wildly different emotional return because timing changed everything. This is why Perkins says, don't just ask, can I afford this experience? Ask, if I don't do this now, will I ever get the maximum value out of it? Money sitting in a bank account earns you interest, but experiences had at the right time earn you memories, and memories are the real currency of a well lived life. Chapter 3, Time Buckets. Why timing matters more than money. Now, Perkins makes another brilliant point. Not all experiences are available to you at every age. He splits life into time buckets, different chapters where different things are possible. Think about it honestly. Backpacking through mountains, staying in cheap hostels, partying till 3 am, this is a 20s to 30s experience. Try doing that at 70, and your body simply won't cooperate the same way. Watching your kids grow up, being present for their childhood, this is only possible during a specific 15 to 20-year window of your life. You cannot get this back later. Once your kids are grown, that specific bucket closes forever. Deep physical adventures, skydiving, scuba diving, long treks, these have a biological expiration date. Here's the story Perkins uses to explain this. A man dreams his whole life of climbing a mountain. He tells himself, when I retire at 65, I'll finally do it. He saves money for it every year. At 65, he finally has the time and the money. But his knees are damaged from years of desk work. His heart isn't strong enough for high altitude. His doctor says no. He had the money bucket full, but the health bucket was empty. Perkins' point is brutal but true. Money is renewable. Time is not. Health, once lost, often doesn't come back. So, the book challenges you to ask a hard question about your own life right now. What experience am I postponing that has a closing window I don't even realize is closing? Chapter 4. The Net Worth Trap. This next idea is where the book gets genuinely controversial and where a lot of financial advisors disagree with Perkins. Most people are taught to grow their net worth continuously. Save more this year than last year. Keep the number going up, 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 forever. Perkins draws a simple graph in the book. Your earning potential increases as you age, you get promotions, raises, your career grows. But your ability to enjoy money, your health, your energy, your adventurous spirit actually starts declining much earlier, often in your 40s or 50s, even if you don't notice it happening. So there's a crossover point, a moment where your net worth keeps climbing, but your capacity to enjoy that money is already falling. Perkins says your spending should peak before your health declines, not after. Most people do the opposite. They spend the least in their 20s and 30s when their body can do the most, and they only start spending freely in their 60s and 70s when their body can do the least. It's like saving the best seat in the house for a movie and then arriving after the movie already ended. He's not saying don't save at all. He's saying have a number. Know exactly how much you need for the rest of your life, and once your savings comfortably cover that, stop hoarding and start living. Every extra dollar earned beyond that number, sitting unused, is a wasted year of your one life that you can't get back. Chapter 5. Die with zero, give while you're alive, not after you're gone. Here is the most talked about, most controversial idea in the entire book, and this is the point I promised you earlier in this video. Perkins asks, why do we wait until we die to give our money to our children? Think about the traditional plan. Parents work their whole lives. They save carefully. They rarely splurge, always thinking about leaving something behind for their kids. Then they pass away at, say, 78 years old. Their child, who inherits the money, is now around 50 years old themselves, already established, already has a career, maybe already retired soon. The inheritance arrives at a point in life where it barely changes anything. But what if that same money had been given when the child was 28? Just starting a business, struggling to afford a home, trying to start a family. That is the moment money changes a life completely. Not at 50, when most of life's big decisions are already made. Perkins' radical suggestion: give meaningful money to your children earlier in their life, when it can actually transform their journey, not later, as a lump sum they didn't need as urgently. This doesn't mean give away everything and leave yourself vulnerable. Perkins is clear about that. You need enough for your own life, your own healthcare, your own safety net. But the core philosophy remains. Don't let unused money become your legacy. Let intentional living and intentional giving become your legacy. The title of the book, Die with Zero, doesn't literally mean spend every penny recklessly and risk being broke. It means don't let your final bank statement be bigger than your list of memories. Optimize your life so that your money and your life force run out together, not with a mountain of unused money left behind and unfulfilled dreams left behind with it. Practical takeaways. Let's make this real. Here's how you apply this book starting today. Number 1, make a list of your time bucket experiences. Write down 5 things that have a closing window, things you can only truly enjoy at your current age or health level. Then actually schedule one this year. Number 2, calculate your enough number. Perkins recommends figuring out roughly what you need for the rest of your life, including safety buffers for healthcare and emergencies. Once you know that number, any extra saving beyond it should go toward experiences, not just sitting idle. Number 3, give earlier, not just later. If you plan to help your children or loved ones financially someday, ask yourself, would that money help them more right now at a pivotal moment in their life than it would in 20 to 30 years? Number 4, track your memory dividends, not just your bank balance. At the end of each year, instead of only checking your savings account, ask, what memories did I create this year that I'll be replaying for the rest of my life? Number 5, don't confuse frugality with wisdom. Saving is not automatically a virtue. Perkins reminds us, money saved but never used is not responsible. It's a missed life. Remember that old man from the beginning of this video? 82 years old, $4 million, and a life full of next year, next year, next year. Bill Perkins wrote this book so that story doesn't become your story. Because here's the truth this book leaves you with. You will never regret the trip you took. You will never regret the dinner with your old friend. You will never regret the moment you were fully present with your kids. But you might deeply regret the years you spent saving for later, if later never comes the way you imagined. Money is a tool to build a life. It was never supposed to be the finish line itself. So, here's my question for you, and I really want you to answer this in the comments. What is one experience you've been postponing for some day that after watching this video, you're going to actually plan for this year? Write it below. I read every comment, and honestly, I might just be planning the same thing myself after making this video. If this video gave you a new way to think about money and life, hit subscribe, because next week, we're breaking down another book that will change how you see your future. Until then, go live a life that pays memory dividends.